Let's learn English phrasal verbs with the word draw. Today's lesson will have draw out, draw on, and draw in. Hi there! If you don't know me yet, I'm Sam, the English teacher with Learn English Hawaii. I teach English to students from around the world, and I hope that you'll have fun, improve your language skills, and use them to make this world a better place. An English learner named Junior commented on one of my other videos. He said, "Could you make a video about phrasal verbs?" Junior, thank you so much for your support. It'll be my pleasure to teach all of you phrasal verbs with the word draw, and at the end of this video, we'll have a little test to see how much you've learned. Phrasal verbs are a type of vocabulary that are especially interesting for intermediate and advanced learners of English. When someone says a phrasal verb you haven't heard before, it can be really confusing. I mean, the words are usually words that you already know, but you just don't understand what they mean in the sentence. Some of you may be asking,
What's a phrasal verb?
well, a phrasal verb is 2 or 3 words that said together have a different meaning than that of the meaning of each word by itself. This phrase is a verb, which is an action or state of being. Some regular one-word verbs are make, run, stand, play, be, and feel. A phrasal verb usually has a regular verb and then an adverb, like up or down, a preposition, such as out or in, or both an adverb and a preposition. Again, when the words are said together, we now have a meaning that is different. In other words, 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. Sometimes, we can get the sense of the phrasal verb from its parts, but often the meaning of the phrasal verb is very different. The word draw by itself can mean to make a picture using a pen or pencil. Here, I'm drawing a picture. Draw can also mean to get other people to look or listen, as in, the great musician drew a large crowd of people. It can also mean by pulling, like draw the blinds closed, or to move slowly, as in, summer is drawing near. Now let's look at some of the phrasal verbs that have the word draw. The salesperson draws on his friendly personality at work. To draw on something can mean to use it. This salesperson is drawing on his friendly personality at work to succeed. This tablet draws on power from batteries. Many writers draw on their personal experiences when writing stories. Verbs and phrasal verbs come in 3 different types, depending on how many objects they use. Intransitive verbs, like walk, don't need an object. You can simply say, I walk. Or, if you do have an object, it comes with a preposition. I walk on the road. I walk up the hill. I walk into a tree. In the same way, some phrasal verbs are intransitive, and don't need an object. Some other verbs are transitive and do need an object, like throw. We can't simply say, I throw.
You throw what?
Exactly. Transitive verbs need an object. He throws the ball. He throws his hat. He throws a chair. Phrasal verbs can be transitive too. Draw on is an example of this. Let's look at our examples and you tell me what the objects are. His friendly personality. Power from batteries. Their personal experiences. There are also verbs with two objects called ditransitive verbs. He gave his wife a present. He gave his son a toy. He gave his dog some food. Phrasal verbs are sometimes ditransitive too. Some verbs are only one type, and others are two or even three. For instance, I'll play. I'll play a song. I'll play you a song. The other big thing to consider about phrasal verbs is where the object goes. In inseparable phrasal verbs, the object always goes after the phrasal verb. With separable phrasal verbs, a short object will go in the middle of the phrasal verb, but longer objects will also go after the phrasal verb, just because it'll become confusing to split up the phrasal verb into two parts. Let's look at the examples one more time. Is draw on separable or inseparable? It's inseparable. Look at how in all the examples, the object goes after the phrasal verb. Now, let's learn about the next phrasal verb. The movie drew him in. Her beauty drew him in. The smell of food drew Jack in. Draw in is transitive. Look how in each of the examples there's an object. It is also separable. Look how the objects go between the parts of the phrasal verb. Draw in can also mean to slowly arrive in a place, as in, the train drew into the station. In this case, the phrasal verb is intransitive because the object only comes after a preposition, in this case, to. Oh, by the way, do you like this video? If you do, please hit the like button, and if you haven't done it yet, you can subscribe, and if you hit the bell, you'll get announcements about when I put out more videos. Please enjoy the video, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. And here's our last phrasal verb today. The teacher drew the lesson out for an extra 20 minutes. They drew their argument out for hours. He drew out a cheap little plastic water gun. In both of these meanings of draw out, to make something longer in time or to take something out of your pocket, the phrasal verb is transitive. Look at the objects in the examples. They are also both separable. The short objects go in the middle of the phrasal verb, but in the last example, a cheap little plastic water gun is just too long to be put in the middle of the phrasal verb, and so even though the verb is separable, we see it being placed at the end, so that the listener isn't confused. Remember too that you agree the subject with only the verb part of the phrasal verb. I draw, you draw, he draws, she draws, we draw, they draw. Same thing with the phrasal verb. I draw in, you draw in, he draws in, she draws in, we draw in, they draw in. So there you have it. 3 phrasal verbs with the word draw. In the comments below, please let me know which phrasal verb you like the best. Remember that the simple past tense is drew and the past participle is drawn. The pronunciation of the vowel in the word draw is the same vowel as in the word call. Call. Ah. Draw. Draw in. Draw on. Draw out. The pronunciation of the past tense, simple past tense, drew, is the same vowel sound as blue. Blue. Ooh. Drew. Drew in. Drew on. Drew out. The pronunciation of drawn is the same as draw, but with an n at the end. Drawn in. Drawn on. Drawn out. Now it's time for your test. Say each of these sentences, adding in the phrasal verb in the blank. Great job! Let's check the answers. The new store drew in a lot of customers yesterday. The bad traffic will draw out how long it takes me to go there. The business executive draws on his military experience to lead the company. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed learning these phrasal verbs with me. Please watch my other videos. And if you're interested in taking private lessons with me online, or if you're here in Hawaii, send me an email at sam@englishhawaii.com. Also, you can learn more about supporting Learn English Hawaii through Patreon in the link below. Have a good one. See you later.